From hot destinations to hidden gems, come along for the ride with CAA, the travel podcast that takes you around the world without a passport or baggage fees.
Hi, and welcome to Along for the Ride with CAA. My name is Bing from CAA Nepean store, and I'm joined here today with my colleague from CAA Orleans.
Hi there, I'm Sharon. Now, you may know CAA for our roadside assistance, but we are really so much more than roadside. Our members save at hundreds and literally hundreds of reward partners across the country, hotels like Best Western to restaurants like Eastside Mario's. They also save on CAA insurance products. We offer coverage on home, auto, health, and dental, life, and especially travel insurance, as we're both travel advisors, and that's kind of our specialty.
CAA is a full-service travel agency, and we have been selling dreams for almost 60 years now at CAA Northeast Ontario, and we have been helping our members planning short family getaways, luxury vacations, or road trips, all-inclusive Caribbean vacations, you name it, we can help you with it. 2020 has been a very challenging year for many Canadians. The pandemic has impacted so many industries, including hospitality and tourism. With the current government advisories, Canadians weren't able to travel this year, and that's actually making a lot of travelers consider Canada as their destination of choice for their 2021 vacations.
We thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk to you about travel in Canada. What makes traveling throughout Canada so exciting? Where you should think about visiting if you're planning a trip further out, and how to travel safely and responsibly, of course, when the time is right.
Right now, we cannot travel, but it cannot stop us dreaming about travel, right? That's why
Sure.
we're here. I've been working in the travel industry for 4 years, and I'm so in love with travel. Right now, we cannot, but we can plan ahead of time.
For sure.
And especially now, because of the industry has been hit so hard, as well as the local economy, like the restaurants, the local hotels, local companies. Even though I'm new to Canada, I've only been here for 6 years, but wow, what a beautiful country. There are so many things, and the geography, the history, it's so diverse. I can't stop thinking about all the places you can go in Canada.
For sure. So that's part of what makes it the destination for travel next year. So of course the government advisories are in place for most of the world, but not in Canada. And so we can book trips within Canada, and as long as we do it in a safe way, and we protect ourselves properly. So confidence in knowledge of pandemic procedures. Right. So we just need to understand and know the risks and how to stay safe. So
Yeah.
we usually, Bing and I will always check the Government of Canada travel website for our clients and as well for ourselves. That holds a lot of information. That's travel.gc.ca. That's their website. Plus, of course, and I think I heard Bing mention this before, and that was the provincial tourism website for each province.
Another good resource for that is the CAA.ca. That's the CAA national website. They actually have gathered all the information for different provinces and territories. You can find the restrictions, and all the information are updated on that site as well.
It's a great resource, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's so much, and Bing was saying it's very diverse, and it's true. Like we have 2 oceans, actually 3 oceans if you count the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Arctic Ocean, right? So we can travel like in all those 3 directions. We have mountains, we have lakes, we have forest, we have tundra, we have beautiful cities and small quaint towns. We have everything, and it's a great chance just to explore your own country.
Yeah, to me, so far, my favorite place in Canada is Newfoundland. I traveled there in 2018. I planned a self-drive trip for myself. So me and my husband, we drove from St. John's all the way to Grossmore National Park. I've never expect to see those in Canada. Especially in Grossmore National Park, there is a place called Western Brook Pond. You can take a boat tour there, and the boat tour will take you into the fjords. It's like you're in Norway, but you're in Canada. It's just a short flight away to St. John's and start the drive. There is another place I highly recommend. It's called Elliston. And there is a small island off the coast. It's about 10 meters away. You can just park your car and stay there. There are thousands of puffins. It's those little birds. They are like small penguins. You can see them take off, or you can see them dive in an ocean to get the food. It's just absolutely beautiful to see those cute animals there.
That's one of the provinces that I have actually not been to, Newfoundland and Labrador. I've been to all of the other provinces, lived in a few of them as well. That plus the territories up north, I have not had a chance to visit yet, but I do plan to soon. One place that I've lived, spent a lot of good time, toured around while I was there, is Nova Scotia, and honestly, who wouldn't want to go there? Fresh seafood. The people are so friendly. And there's so many places to drive. And if you use Halifax as a hub, like just for a day trip, Lunenburg, you can go visit Lunenburg. It's such a beautiful place to go. And if you're lucky, the Blue Nose will be there on our dime, that schooner on our dime. And Peggy's Cove. I spent a lot of time in Peggy's Cove. Many days we went there just for the visit, and it's a quaint little fishing town, and it's just an amazing place to be. The other thing is the valley. You can go to the valley in Nova Scotia in the summer, and I have been there and stopped at the little fruit stands on the side of the road, and the best berries, summer fruits. Honestly, it just mouth-watering. I just want to go back right now, just thinking about it. Mahone Bay, Bridgewater, these kind of places. And these people are decorators. They decorate so beautifully for fall, for winter. They're very, very artistic and creative, and they're just the cutest little places to visit. If you have a little bit more time, take a drive to Cape Breton and spend a couple of days visiting places like Louisbourg. That's a former fortress and a strategic military site. People there are dressed in period costumes, and you can just go tour around. Of course, there's a fee to get in, but it's just an amazing place as well. Go on a whale watching excursion while you're there. You can visit Bedeck, where Alexander Graham Bell may have sent out his very first telephone call. There's a whole museum dedicated to him. It's very, very interesting. The beautiful scenery of the Cabot Trail. I mean, I could just go on and on and on about Nova Scotia. It is so nice there. I want to go back now. Anyway, cliffs and oceans, and in summer, the lupins are everywhere. This is a place that you really want to visit. If you haven't been there before, you really want to go.
Yeah, all those places you just mentioned, I haven't been there at all. So they're all on my list. I'm creating this huge list to visit.
That's great. I mean, I think everybody should go to the East Coast at least once, and just enjoy it, because it is so well worth it. Now, personally, I'm from Manitoba. I'm from Winnipeg, and really, it is worth spending some time there. There's some tours, and in fact, that there's one tour with Trafalgar. It's going to be going in October of 2021 to go visit the polar bears in Manitoba, and that would be in Churchill. I'm almost positive that you can add a few days pre or post to that, or just go as a separate trip to Winnipeg. A lot of people don't know much about Winnipeg, and once it was the crossroads of the Red River and the Assiniboine River, and it was a major trading center between the Indigenous people, the local settlers, and guess what? The rival trading giants, the Hudson Bay Company and the Northwest Trading Company, and its roots are steep of history and all these things. These days, right where the rivers cross, it's called the Forks. And it is a cool place to visit. It's home to unique shops, restaurants, the Children's Museum, the Canadian Museum of Human Rights, which is an absolutely gorgeous building, and so interesting. And there's so much more that, I mean, I can't even tell you. The Winnipeg Jets play there. So much to visit. The Winnipeg Zoo and the Assiniboine Park, they kind of go hand in hand, and acres of manicured gardens and parkland. And if you're lucky enough to see, you might see a cricket game, which is kind of unique.
Cricket game?
Cricket, yes, they play cricket.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Driving about an hour out of Winnipeg, you can actually, and not many people know this, you can find the largest settlement of Icelandic people outside of Iceland. Right?
Oh,
so who needs to go to
wow.
Iceland?
Yeah.
And you can just go to Manitoba.
Yeah.
So they actually have a population of over 100,000 Icelandic people there. So this is the towns of Gimli, Riverton, up around that area. So there's many beaches, parks, campgrounds, like provincial parks. In fact, Grand Beach, which is on Lake Winnipeg, is a beach that would rival any beach, and I'm not kidding, any beach in the world, and very popular during the summer months. So I really recommend people take a drive out there in the summertime. And I have to just tell you this one little story about Manitoba. A client just walked into the store this morning, and she's from Winnipeg as well. And she said, you know what I miss? She misses the blue sky of Manitoba. And it's true, because I believe that area of Canada has the most hours of sunshine. So a lot more sunshine than most other Canadian locations.
Wow. I didn't know that. There are so many places to visit, especially
Right?
for me. I'm so new to Canada and I just want to explore it all. To me, I think my next destination would definitely be the Rockies. I've read so many stories online, saw so many pictures about the Rockies. I actually planned a lot of trips for clients to go to the Rockies, but by train. There's a luxury train company in Canada. It's called the Rocky Mountaineer. And I planned trips for my client. They start in Calgary, and then they were picked up, taking the train all the way from Calgary to Vancouver. And the nice thing they talked about is how relaxing it is. They don't need to drive. They don't need to do anything. Everything's taken care of. So basically, it's like a luxury vacation, all-inclusive luxury vacation. Let's put it that way.
I've had a few clients of mine as well go, and I have some bookings that are into next year actually for Rocky Mountaineer, and these are people that are treating themselves to something very special in Canada. It's a really nice way to see the Rockies. Your food is delivered to your seat, or you go to the dining car and you stay in really nice hotels. And actually, I know that they slow the train down when they're passing by something that they know that people would like to take pictures of. Sometimes they actually bring it right to a halt. If there's a moose or a bear or a beautiful waterfall or just a really nice scenery, they'll slow the train down and actually stop it for that kind of thing. So what a great way to see Canada.
Yeah. But if you're like an adventure type of person, you want to do self-driving through the Rockies, you can also rent an RV. Actually, CAA has partnered with Canada Dream, and you can rent an RV with a discount and drive the Rockies on your own and see the view, stop wherever you want.
This is true. And if somebody wanted to do, even fly into Calgary and rent a car and drive a car and stay in hotels instead of an RV, that's another option, because we do have discounts for renting cars. So that would be with Enterprise, Alamo, and National. So that's another thing that's really great about being a CAA member is getting those discounts.
Yeah. Talking about road trip, there is one thing I have to mention. Actually, CAA, we do have lots of resources for road trip. For example, we have lots of maps and books in the store for you to pick up, and they're all free to CAA members. I know it's kind of like old-fashioned way most people use GPS nowadays, but I do appreciate the map in front of me. And, even when you are doing a family trip, it's good to keep all the passengers focused on, let them know where they're going and stuff like that. And there is a great website we have. It's called Triptych planning site. So you can go on the website, put in your starting point, put in your stops, and generate a map for yourself. I actually used that for myself because when I went to Newfoundland, there were places the signal was not so good. And luckily, I had a triptych printed, and it helped me a lot. I really recommend that.
Absolutely. And you can even put in the addresses for your hotels there. And it'll direct you, it'll guide you right there, door to door, right? So a triptych is really good. And you just have to go onto our website, CAANEO.ca, and you'll be able to plan your own. If you need some help, just give us a call in the office. For sure, we can walk you through it. We can even create one for you, but keep in mind that there'll be a PDF version. We don't print them out anymore. We realize that most people have tablets, and you can just use it on your tablet. And once it's a PDF and you download it, it's not going to take any data. You won't be wasting any data when you're flipping through it as you're driving. So something I wanted to mention, speaking of driving, because I've driven back and forth across Canada a number of times. It sounds funny, but we really have done a lot of traveling in Canada. I want to mention a lot of people kind of want to zoom through Saskatchewan, but I do want to mention a stop in Moose Jaw is really highly recommended. There are underground tunnels there. I don't know if anybody knows that or not, but just a little story here. They were dug in the early 1900s. And there's some stories that go along with these tunnels. And there is an actual tourist attraction called the Tunnels of Moose Jaw. My daughter went. She and her friend were camping across Canada, and when they got to Moose Jaw, I called this place and I bought them tickets so that they could go enjoy both of the tours. One tells the story of the Chinese immigrants in the area, and the other tells a story about Prohibition. And the story is that Al Capone used those tunnels to hide his hooch during Prohibition. And my daughter said that she and her friend laughed the whole way through because you actually are part of the tour. You're given a name, and you're told this is who you're going to be, and the leader kind of is in dress, and they take you through, and you're hiding behind things. And she said she's never laughed so much during a tour in her life. So that's something that I really wanted to tell everybody about. I recommend it to everyone who drives through there. Another tiny little point is there's a place again called Little Manitou Lake.
I've
don't
heard
have
that
to travel. Really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
You don't have to travel all the way to the Middle East to float in salt water. This lake is like the Dead Sea. It has it's very similar to the Dead Sea, and it's in Saskatchewan of all places. Not many people know about it, but you can go there, and you can go for a float in Little Manitou Lake. So just a little FYI.
Yeah, well, that's very interesting. I've heard somebody talked about it, and they say, oh, they're going to drive all the way there and to experience that. Talking about that, I think there's another place. If you don't want to drive too far, Ontario also have lots of things to offer. You can go to big cities like Toronto to see the zoo, to see the CN Tower, or you can drive to Manitou Island all the way, or along Lake Superior. There are just so many things you can do in Ontario as well. And one thing is, within Ontario, you don't need to get travel insurance. But if you travel outside of Ontario, we do recommend you to get travel insurance, as OHIP won't cover that much when you are in other provinces.
Well, we can hook you up definitely with some good travel medical insurance. Right now, our company is covering COVID as long as you're staying in Canada. So that's a good point to note. But again, because rules about the pandemic are always changing, make sure that you ask the right questions and confirm everything at that time, because again, things could change. But right now, for sure, I mean, taking a drive to Wasaga Beach, I mean, in the summertime, or, renting a cabin, so many things that you can do right in our own province.
Yeah, definitely keep up with the most up-to-date information because things are fluid, so they can change anytime, especially when you travel outside to different province. And when you come back, maybe there will be a new restriction or new rules. So definitely keep up with the information. And also, it's good to plan early, because once everything goes back, there will definitely be a huge surge for travel. Plan early, but give yourself more flexibility. Double check the rules for the flights. Can you cancel? Can you get a refund? Stuff like that you need to keep in mind.
And hotels as well. We do offer like Best Western hotels and resorts. So you can save up to 15%, in Marriott hotels. You can save 5% or more on the standard rate. But please keep in mind that these hotels, they can't open up every single room right now. So they only have a portion of their rooms available. So you do want to make sure that you're booking in advance. A lot of them are offering free cancellation just because they know the situation is fluid. But for sure, give yourself plenty of time, and plenty of time to make changes as well. We want to make sure that you enjoy things, but you have to stay flexible at this point.
Yeah. Another point I want to mention is protect yourself and protect others too. Like now all the airports require mandatory health screening at the airport. Masks are required at airports and on board any planes and trains too. So definitely have a comfortable and durable mask with hand sanitizer handy. Actually, we do sell those products at CAA at a very reasonable price for our members. If you would like to get some of those, you can drop in at any store at any time, and our CAA agents would be happy to help you.
Absolutely. We get phone calls to can you put this aside for me, or do you have any masks available right now? And our masks are so popular because they are the 3-ply, the $5 masks for members. They're so popular right now. So yeah, make sure that you are keeping yourself safe and keeping your distance from everyone, and it's just a mutual respect overall, I suppose. And I know that some people have contacted me as they needed to be able to drive across Canada. They were going to, visit family. They weren't very comfortable with taking a flight, so they decided to drive. So. We just help to make sure, they've got the hotel, they've got the maps, they've got the masks, they've got everything that they're going to need, help them make a triptych if they can't do it themselves. We just want to help take care of the road trips, the flights, all that kind of thing to keep our members safe and getting to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, though, I have another story. I hope you don't mind listening to another story, but I wanted to talk about Alberta. I spent some time in Alberta. Are you surprised? So I've spent some time in a lot of
Not
provinces.
surprised at all.
But anyway, I mean, I've been visited Calgary, Edmonton, Banff, Jasper, Lake Louise. I mean, some really neat places in Alberta, right? But what I wanted to tell you is about Drumheller. It is just a truly unique place in Canada. So I'll just explain my experience. So I was driving with my family south, sort of from central Alberta. We're passing field after field of ranch land. It was flat. It was, honestly, I have to say, it was quite boring because there wasn't even a cow to look at. It was just fences and fields of nothing. And I probably kind of, spaced out for a little while during the drive. But at some point I realized that either we were on a downward slope or the land around us was getting higher. It was just that weird feeling of almost being, in an elevator, things are coming up around you, or an elevator going downwards, I mean. So there was cliffs all of a sudden on either side of us. And I thought, like, what is going on here? Red rock. And I thought, oh my gosh, I know what's going on here. And it was confirmed later. You're actually descending on an ancient riverbed.
Oh, wow.
The coolest thing. So the air was hotter. I mean, I could feel it in the vehicle. The air started getting hotter. And all of a sudden, there we were, canyons, hoodoos, rocky hills. It was a desert. And it was just the most spectacular change of scenery that I've ever experienced. So the town itself is, it's a little kitschy, I have to say, with, dinosaur sculptures everywhere and that kind of thing. But it really is, it's dedicated to dinosaurs. The Royal Tyrell Museum of Paleontology is there. And this is a must-see, and apparently it's home to the world's largest display of dinosaurs. You want to bring your camera for this. This is a really neat place to go. And you can even sign up to go on a dig.
Really?
Yeah, you can. I didn't get to go. My daughter was very young at the time, and it was really hot out, and I didn't want to take her out. But yes, you could sign up to go on a dig. So I just want to say that we did tour around. We went to all kinds of things. It wasn't a mining town at one point, so you'll see remnants of that from its past. But it was almost like being on a different planet in some places. You almost expected to see that Albertosaurus Rex coming around the corner or something like that. And that is a real dinosaur, by the way. The air was dry. And honestly, there was insects there that I had never seen anywhere before. And you know now that I've lived in many places. It was a super experience. And I just really think that everybody should know about that. Canada is such a great place to explore. And I've only given like a few examples, and I think there's so much more out there.
Yeah. After I listen to your story, I definitely will want to go there. The sooner the better, once everything opens up. Yeah, I agree. Canada does have lots to offer. The mountains, we talked about, the lakes, the coastlines. And there's one thing I want to mention is the coast of Vancouver Islands. There's a place called Haida Gwaii. My clients went there, and it's absolutely amazing to see the pictures. I can't believe there is such a rainforest off the coast of so far north compared to, normally when you think about rainforest, I think about the Amazon, the tropical islands, but it's right there off the coast of BC.
I've heard of that place, and I think that they do a lot of fishing, and it's a lot of Indigenous culture there, which is also super interesting. And another article which I wanted to point out in our latest magazine that I think everybody should read, because Indigenous travel is certainly something that I personally find interesting, and hope to see a lot more of it happening.
Yeah. Canada does have lots to offer. If you don't want to, go anywhere in the winter, or if you really want to go somewhere in the winter, you can go all the way north to Yellowknife, and they have absolutely amazing view of the Northern Lights. And it's very easy to put a package together as well with Air North flying there.
Right. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Instead of going to Iceland, going to northern Canada.
Northern Canada, for sure. I mean, even when I lived in Winnipeg, we could see the Northern Lights occasionally, and so this is it's a paradise for Northern Lights, and why not, right? We've got so many things like that to offer up north. And tundra. I mean, go visit the tundra. Go visit the mountains. Go visit the lakes and the rivers and the cities. Everything has so much to offer.
Yeah, another good place I want to mention is Quebec City. It's such a beautiful place. When I was there, I feel like I was in Europe. It's like a European city with the Chateau Frontenac there, the old streets with a river right by there. And it's just beautiful.
It really is. It's got so much history. And you know what? A great place to go in the wintertime too, because they have their carnival in the winter.
Yeah.
And people don't be scared to travel in the winter too, because there's so many places like skiing in the winter and ice fishing in the winter. You know, you can go ride a sled pulled by dogs. You can do so many things in the wintertime. Get out there and enjoy your country.
Yeah, and help local people too. I know a lot of people are suffering from COVID, so it's good to help the local community and the local economy.
That's for sure. We want to thank you for tuning in to our first podcast, Along for the Ride with CAA. We hope you feel inspired to explore our country next year, once it's safe to do so, of course. In fact, we want to give you the chance to win 50 CAA dollars toward your next Canadian trip. You can visit our website, caaneo.ca/podcast, and enter the code word Canada to be entered to win this month's draw. We'll be announcing the winner on the next episode of Along for the Ride with CAA. Till then, this is Sharon from CAA Orleans. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you for listening. This is Bing from CAA Nepean store. Stay safe and take care.
This has been another episode of Along for the Ride with CAA. We hope you enjoyed the journey and look forward to seeing you next time.